Dricus in the front right here. Congratulations on your first successful title defense. I guess, what are the emotions after, kind of an emotional build-up to this fight? It was a name that you'd been calling for, a name that you admittedly had been studying since even before you got to the UFC. So now to get through Israel Adesanya, what are the emotions?
Yeah, I mean, it feels absolutely incredible sitting here. I mean, what a build-up to the fight this week. Just a big ups to him as well, the UFC team here in Australia. It was... they accommodated us. So I was treated like not a world champion. I was treated like, I think, a king of some country. Everything we wanted, from the hotels, from everything was planned to a T. It was amazing. And it coming together tonight, well, today, this afternoon, I don't know what to say, but it was so special. And like I said, you mentioned my first successful title defense, and people go, yeah, you're not a champion until you defend that belt. That's bullshit. You're champion when you win that belt. But I wasn't a champion walking out there tonight. Before I walk out, and I said this whole week, before I walk out there, they take the belt off me. The winner of this fight is the champion. So nobody's a champion when that first belt goes. I went out there tonight to fight for the world title, and I became champion tonight. And you could see that in the fight. I went out there to fight like somebody who wanted this belt and not somebody who defended it.
You did, obviously, like I said before, you had been watching Israel since before the UFC. Did that fight play out in there as to compared to how you envisioned this and expected it all these years?
Yeah, well, I won at the end. Yes, I guess so. I didn't do too many visualization sessions where I lost, but the man was as good as I thought. He was as good. I'm so happy that he went out there and you could, after the fight, say, this was the best Israel Adesanya. He felt great. And you could see it in his, just in physique. That's equal to work. And he had more heart. I said I'm taking him out of there in the third, and I got in the fourth. I could see in the end of the third, he was starting to break down. But there just wasn't enough. And in that fourth round, if you look at the fight, the story of the fight was in the beginning of the round, because I knew they look at my game plan, me and my coaches. So we said, Coach Mornay, obviously a genius at this, looked at what he does, and we said, he kept on talking about he's a new fighter, he's going to come in there, be different. The old Adesanya. So he's going to come and try and fight me and stop me from going forward, because they know that's how I fight, and that's his kryptonite when somebody's... he's not going to make the same mistake like he did against Strickland. So every round, you can see this, in the beginning of the round, I was standing my ground, but he was in the middle of the octagon, and he was almost dictating, but if you're not used to fighting like that, you get more tired. If you're not used to fighting with that kind of pressure. And I didn't back off. I wasn't fighting on the outside. I just stood my ground. And in every round, around 2 minutes, my coach would shout, listen, it's time to go. And I would start pushing forward. And that's when I started getting, every round at the end, I got the success. And every round his burst, like the first bit of the round where he was dictating would be shorter. And in that fourth round, I landed quite a lot of big shots. The man can take a punch, but you can only take that many. He kicks like an absent. Jeez, the man kicks hard. The first inside low kick he kicked me, I think his feet felt like this big. When he kicked me, it felt so heavy. He has that inside low kick was incredible, but I stuck to the plan. I tried to stay as disciplined in there as necessary, not blitzing forward for too long, because the blitz is it's one thing I'm going to do, and everything worked out perfect.
At media day, you also said, if there are no holes, it's my job to create them for you to take advantage of. Was this the finishing sequence, like you got that hook from behind and then you tackled him into the rear naked choke? Is that a hole that you saw envisioned?
Well, I mean, we saw that in the second round. When I got him, I knew physically I was stronger than Israel Adesanya. He is a master at getting back to his feet and not getting his... Well, if you have his back. I mean, Whittaker had his back many times. how many guys has gotten him down and not being able to do anything with it. So I got him down in that first round, I think, or second round. Landed a couple of hard shots. So every time he would start getting back to his feet, I didn't fight him on it. I just kept control of the hips and landed big shots because he was so focused on my hands around the hips that he wouldn't protect his face. Landed big shots, maybe create a cut. That was what I was hoping for, landing big, hard punches, then getting back down to the ground. So he has to do all that trouble, get back up, carry my weight, hit him. And in that fourth, the man was staggered from the blows. I could see when he went down, I landed big shots. And I didn't plan on taking him down. I was actually planning on knocking him out. And body positioning was just that of the best thing to do right now is to take him down. And I could feel as we went to the ground, he wasn't resisting at all. He was out of it a little. Got the back. As soon as I straightened him out, it was over.
And after you said, I think it was something along like, no matter what happened tonight, Africa won between you two. We saw you exchange the jacket over here and speak with his parents. Why did you feel the need to say all of these things? Did that just kind of clear the air between you guys?
Well, let me tell you this. Like I said, at the end of the day, what I said was never to challenge Israel or any other African fighter on being the first African fighter. It wasn't that. It was the first residing. And that is still the fact. I mean, nothing can change that. So I know at the presser, I went over to him actually after the fight when he got super emotional. That was within him. That wasn't nothing. I never went after his family. So I just wanted to make sure that, I have parents too, and I respect anybody's parents. So I just went over to him and said after the fight, if it sounded like I was saying anything bad about your parents, that was not the case. Yeah, what I'm saying to you, harden up. If you want to cry about that, so be it. But I will never disrespect your parents. And he said, no, he understands that. And, as a warrior to a warrior, like I said, I'm still not Israel Adesanya. We are not friends because on a personal level, we do not see eye to eye. But warrior to warrior, after spending that time with him in that octagon and what he's achieved in the sport, it's no secret. I respect that. And after spending the time with him in the octagon, you can't not respect that man. What he's done in the sport. So to give him that jacket was a token of it was a reminder, a token of appreciation. Thank you for this. It's a memory for me. It's such a massive moment in my life, fighting a great fighter like Israel Adesanya. I brought the jacket here specifically to give it to him before the fight. I brought it with me to give it, it was going to be win or lose. I was going to give him that because he said he wants to fight warriors from all the lands, and I respect that. And I wanted to give him that as a token of appreciation of fighting and giving me that amazing fight and bringing the best out of me, and also as something to remember this magic moment of an All-Africa main event.
And last one for me, obviously, I know Dana White said that Sean Strickland deserves the next title shot, but I don't know if you saw, but Alex Pereira posted that he wants to drop back down to middleweight too. He was sitting in front of you getting the belt tonight. So I guess, what do you want next for your career?
Yeah, what I want next is whatever they give me. I have to be honest. I honestly don't think Alex Pereira should drop down to 185. If he wants to, great, perfect. But then we're going to hear the excuses. I saw we saw Izzy stiff that man in the first round. I felt Izzy's punching power tonight. If that, Izzy has great timing. He's fast, he's long, and he has great combinations. But I felt the power. If Izzy stiffens you like that, you do not want to be in there with me, especially not when you're going to come in there with the excuses, no, I cut too much weight. That's going to happen. Everybody's going to say that. So stay at 205, fight your fight against the number 7 ranked guy.
Number 8.
Oh, number 8. Okay, cool. Well, fight your fight there and enjoy it. If Strickland's the next fight, the people want to see that fight. That's the fight that people want to see, and that's the fight right now that people think is the next best guy. Then it's the fight that I want. So let me handle my business, you handle your business. You don't have to cut the weight so you have some sort of excuse. I'll come up after the Strickland fight. I'll come up to 205 and we'll sort it out there.
So you think just one more title defense and you'll be ready to change divisions?
No, but I mean, if that's what the UFC wants, I mean, I'll be ready for it right now. But I'm not chasing that. I believe to be considered as the greatest to ever do the sport, I need to be considered as the greatest middleweight first. So yeah, I mean, I'm the first guy to beat Israel Adesanya and Robert Whittaker. I beat 3 of the top 20 pound for pound fighters. So can I please get back in the top 10? So I beat Strickland, I beat Whittaker, and I beat Adesanya. I can't wait to see. I haven't been on social media. I can't wait to see what the critics say now.
I mean, that must be very gratifying. And speaking of the Sean Strickland fight, right? He's one of the few people who's made it to the judges with you, which, as we've seen, doesn't happen very often. So is that a partial motivation to? There is people who think he won that fight, and to just silence those people.
No, I don't care about silencing the people. I need to hear the people if they're booing or cheering. I mean, did you see tonight? This was the most electric crowd ever. They weren't cheering for me, but I mean, it was still amazing to be out there. It was that the crowd was insane. So yeah, going into that Strickland fight now, I know I've been in there with him. He can't handle what I have. He can't handle what I have to offer. So yeah, this time I can finish him. I mean, we saw it. Yeah, he beat Izzy. Now we have a comparison. That's how you finish someone.
Do you think, I mean, a fight with him, the last two, the build-ups have been, pretty personal, got fairly heated. It seems like you've kind of come out on the winning end of the talk. Are you anticipating going through another fight like that where it could get pretty nasty in the lead-up?
I don't know. I mean, does he want to cry again?
And just last thing, you talked about, the respect for Israel and everything, but for him to, in the octagon, raise your hand up, back here, raise your hand up, I guess just what does that mean to you for him to show that level of class and sportsmanship towards you?
That's it. I mean, that's why sport is so amazing. This sport is so amazing. And I say this all the time, myself and Israel, the beef was not fake. The fact that we don't like each other on a personal level was not fake, at least not from my side. It just doesn't, it's irrelevant in that octagon. So what does it matter? I'm not talking about I hate Israel Adesanya. I'm just saying that if we were in a social setting, I'd probably not be sitting at his table. And that's fine. Everybody in this room doesn't like each other. Or at least, like, maybe you act if you do, but when you get home, you're like, that guy's such an asshole. But that is the facts of the matter. So...
I think he struck a chord there.
That's what the truth does. But but the respect I have for him and what he has done in the sport, it can't be denied, because if you don't, you're an idiot. If you can't see what Israel has done in the sport and appreciate that as a warrior, a fellow warrior, you're an idiot. The man has done great things in the sport. So yeah, I mean, that's it. I mean, it means the world to me that that sport brings people together, unites people. South Africa, that is our biggest saying. The great father Nelson Mandela, that was his biggest thing. He says, sport unites people in a way that politics can never, ever, ever do. And that is a fact. And so that was amazing, what we saw in there tonight after the fight, to be able to do that and show the world how amazing, even though on a personal level there is no friendship, the respect is there.
And just last thing, if you do get your South Africa event, as Dana White said would happen after this, and as Sean, he kind of tweeted out something like, I don't know if it's a good idea to bring me to South Africa. Some of the things he might say, is that maybe a concern around that fight if him come in there? I
actually saw something like that, but I mean, my man, we can see Sean Strickland. South Africa, it's different. It's different. We saw that tonight. I said, it's the jungle out there. Sean Strickland, the way he does things, yeah, I hope he makes it to the fight.
Dricus, just over here. At the press conference, I asked you if the finish was the main priority, and you said if the finish doesn't present itself, I'll make it happen. Where does that confidence come from, knowing that no matter the situation, you can get the job done?
Yeah, I mean, I think more directly what I said was I'm going to look for the opportunity or create the opportunity to get that finish. If not, I'm winning this fight by decision. But when I get in there, it comes from the fact that I know I don't know any other way how to fight. I don't know how to fight to defend the belt. And that comes back to the story of every time I go out there tonight, I became world champion. I had to go and fight and win that belt. And that's what I go out there to do. I don't grapple to win a round on points. I go for a submission. I don't do pad work every day to outpoint somebody. I hit the pads to knock you out. So every time I'm busy with anything, I'm trying to finish that fight. I'm trying to do it with the intent of hurting or getting you out of there. Isn't that what fighting's all about? So the confidence comes from the fact that I know I'm willing to die to get it. I know it sounds like I'm just saying the same thing all over, but that's where it comes from. I know that I'm willing to go for it. And, every time I go there, I'll pull the trigger. I pull the trigger every time I get into the octagon. And my whole career has been like that. And, that's why I'm pretty sure I'm going to win or die trying.
And last one for me. Your coaching staff, obviously Mornay Visser and Henny and the whole team at CIT Performance Institute are probably top contender for not only Gym of the Year, but definitely Mornay's in the conversation for Coach of the Year. I just wonder how big this win is. Obviously winning the title back in January was big for South African MMA, but to defend the title as well, I think is pretty big for you guys. So what do you think that says about the whole for South African MMA?
Yeah, I mean, it shows that we are at a level that... it's massive. It's massive. I mean, just after becoming champion, how massive the sport just grew. I would love to see the numbers of the amount of people that watch this fight from South Africa. I'll actually get back to you guys on that because our local sports network, or the African Sports Network, I'm going to love to see, because I'm pretty close with the people there, and see what the numbers look like in terms of the amount of people that watch this. It's incredible. It just creates so much hope in that everybody that, not even in just in MMA, I'm talking about in rugby, I'm talking about football, I'm talking about anything. It doesn't really matter, because you're sitting in a situation where you're like, I'm from South Africa, how am I going to make it to Hollywood? Well, this is how you make it to Hollywood. This is my Hollywood. Making it to the UFC is my Hollywood. And right now, this is one of the masterpieces. So it is possible for us. It is possible, and that's what it creates. It is possible to go out there and do great things, even though the struggle is a bit worse, even though you have to do a little bit more. God gives his strongest warriors the biggest burdens because they can carry it, and that's 100% what I believe.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Dricus, I know you were saying there that you'd rather move up to fight Alex Pereira. But if you look at it and you say, I want to be the greatest, so I need to be the greatest middleweight, if he came back down and you beat him, that would be beating essentially every top-ranked former middleweight champion that's currently active, which would probably solidify your claim as one of the best of that division.
No, sure. Let him do it.
Cool.
One from me, Dricus. Sorry, over here to your left. So you mentioned that, it doesn't matter who you face next, you'll do what the fans want, you do what the UFC wants. Personally, if you're willing to answer this, who do you think would be more deserving? Sean Strickland or the winner?
Robert Whittaker.
There we go. Thank you for that.
Robert Whittaker deserves the shot. I think he's being done over.
Mm-hmm.
Whittaker beat Costa. The only thing, Sean Strickland's only saving grace here is the fact that he went a decision.
Yep.
With me. That's it. So, yeah, I mean, Robert Whittaker beat Costa in a more spectacular fashion, I believe, than Strickland did. And then, willing to step up fight comes out, he pulls out. Whittaker fights not a nobody in the sense of he's not ranked. He can only lose, and it's a great fighter. Ikram, right?
Ikram, yeah.
Ikram. He's an amazing fighter. He's really good. Whittaker makes it look like he was fighting an amateur. And what does he get for it? Nothing. Then says, okay, I'll fight Hamzat again. So he beats Hamzat, and you're not giving him a title shot. He's pulling on he's getting the short end of the stick, unfortunately, but that's not on me. I'll fight whoever. So Strickland right now, that's the fight that people want to see, so that's what they get. But Whittaker is definitely the one that's being done over in this, in my opinion. He's more deserving, but life's not fair.
And you mentioned before that you can't wait to go online and see what the critics have said. I will share this with you. One of the biggest, let's call it criticisms, are people saying that in the third and the fourth you were looking gassed, but you were touching on before that was part of the plan, conserving energy and playing possum. Would you say that's correct?
Playing possum? No. Looking gassed? Yeah, sure. That's why I finished him. Yeah, if that's what gassed means, I'm in. Call me gassed all day.
I appreciate it. Thank you, mate.
Dricus, just down here to your right. Okay. Before the fight started, when Bruce Buffer was introducing you and there was just all these boos raining down, I think it was the biggest smile you had on your face all weekend. Can you just take us through what you were thinking there? Were you using the boos as motivation or just embracing the crowd?
No, it's just been the same as any other place I went to. Canada. I told them that's what's going to happen, but they refused to listen. Did you hear the cheers after the fight? That's why I was laughing, because I knew, shame.
And just
I can't wait to hear all of you cheer. And I just thought about it this way. I'm standing there, and I'm hearing all these boos, and I'm like, there's no way I've finished this guy, and this place just starts booing. So if it happens, it's going to be funny, but I know there's one guy who's going to sit next to another guy that was booing as they introduced me, and as I win the fight, the one guy is cheering, and the other guy goes, what? You were just booing, and now you're cheering, and that was funny to me. And, well, I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing because that's what we're here to do. You know, all the media talk, all that stuff, it's funny, it's great. The people pay a lot of money to be here to watch these events, and at the end of the day, they come to be entertained, and that's what I come to do. And that's where that confidence comes from, because I come in there and I make a promise to the fans every time. I'm going to come out there and give you a show. I'm going to entertain you. And I haven't watched the fight, but I believe it felt like it was one of those fights. It felt like it was all out. I gave it my all. So that's what I'm here for. I'm here for being a warrior. I'm not here to win. I'm here to win and be entertaining at the same time.
I think there was a lot of South Africans in the crowd that helped your cause at the end there. But just one final one. Did you get your money from...
What a backhanded compliment. Well, screw you.
Tai Tuivasa, did you get the money from the bet that you made from the rugby union game?
No, not yet. Thanks for reminding me.
All good. Congrats on the win.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.